Good afternoon. We want to thank you for coming today in the rain. And our being here in the rain demonstrates our commitment and our determination for this fight that we are in. And we've come today in the backdrop of Home Depot because we want to send a message. And if you notice, we hold nails in our hands. These are not Home Depot nails. But we've come because we intend to drive these nails to make a point. First, we're going to drive a nail into the big lie that the 2020 election was stolen.
Amen.
That there was fraud.
Yes.
We're going to drive this nail so hard into that lie.
Yes, sir. Yes,
because Martin Luther King was right. No lie can live forever.
Say so.
We intend for this lie to die a horrible and a brutal death.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The second nail is we're going to drive a nail into SB 202
Say it.
and all other legislation that seeks to suppress and make it harder for blacks and people of color to vote. And in driving that nail,
yes, sir,
I want to issue a challenge today to Brian Kemp,
say it,
the governor of Georgia. We invite him to debate
yes,
SB 202.
yes, sir.
He has spread the lie that SB 202 expands voting
Mama.
and makes voting easier.
A lie.
But we want him to come and defend that lie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we are more than ready to demonstrate that it is a lie.
Yes.
SB 202 does not expand voting.
Yes.
It depends upon where you live.
Come on now.
If you live in parts of the state that benefit him,
yes,
that may be true.
Yes.
But most blacks in Georgia
yes,
live in Fulton, Gwinnett, Clayton counties, and it makes voting for us harder.
Amen.
So we invite Governor Kemp
yes,
to come and let's debate the truthfulness of SB 202.
Mama.
And then finally, the third nail, we're going to drive it into the heart of racism.
Yes, sir.
Now, I heard Senator Tim Scott say on Wednesday night that the United States is not a racist nation.
Yes, sir.
Well, nobody can deny that the United States has a racist past.
Yes.
My brothers and my sisters, let's make it clear. This nation's wealth was built off the labor of blacks.
Say it.
This nation's prosperity
Yes, sir.
was built off the struggle and hard work of people of color.
Yes, sir.
And we absolutely refuse to allow them now to turn back time.
Come on now.
To make it hard for us to vote.
Yes, sir.
To express our voice.
Yes.
To demonstrate our power.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to drive these nails
Yes, sir.
until they cry out, I yield, I yield.
Yes,
So
sir.
we ask you
Yes, sir.
to join with us. We're inviting corporate America.
Yes, sir.
Specifically, we're inviting Home Depot
Come on now.
to come and join with us.
Yes.
Do not expect us to give you our dollars
Come on now.
without you giving us your support.
Say it.
So we call upon Home Depot, come out of the shadow
Come on now.
and come and join us in this struggle.
Yes, sir.
Help us to drive the nails. And next time, we won't go to another store. Next time, we'll go to Home Depot because they've finally proven themselves to be corporately responsible.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, Bishop. Awesome. Give my name, Bishop.
Bishop Reginald Jackson, REGINALDJACKSON, Bishop of the 6th District, AME Church.
Amen.
Now, I'm not going to be before you long. My name is Lee May. I am the pastor of Transforming Faith Church. and president of the Decatur Pastors Christian Alliance. Let's be clear about why we are here today. We are here to fight for greater access to the ballot box. And we are here to fight against any activities that desire to restrict or limit those who desire to put forward that privilege, that right that we have, Today we stand before Home Depot. And as we've done many times before, we invite you to join us, as Bishop Jackson just mentioned. Join us in our fight. And again, we're asking corporate America to join us on 4 points. Point number 1 is to fight against Senate Bill 202.
Yeah.
We want you to reject Senate Bill 202.
Yes.
Point number 2, we want you to reject any other efforts around the nation that support voter suppression.
Yes.
Any other efforts that align with Senate Bill 202. We see what just happened in the state of Florida, what's going on in Texas and Michigan and other states around this nation. And number 3, we ask you to support federal legislation that will expand voter access to the ballot box and provide greater restrictions for those voter suppression efforts that are going on around the country.
Yes.
And finally, there is litigation going on already fighting against these attempts to restrict the access to the ballot box. We want you to join us in fighting legally through the court system any of these voter suppression efforts that are going on, including Senate Bill 202. That's why we are here.
Yes, sir.
And I'll close on this. We, as men and women of faith, as the clergy, we are people of grace. We are people of faith. And although Home Depot, you have rejected our invitation prior to, we still stand here open arms, ready to have a conversation amongst those 4 issues that we have put forward. Home Depot, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's speak. Let's reason together about what we are fighting for, which is open, free, unfettered access to the ballot box. Amen?
Amen.
I'm going to bring up Reverend Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant.
Amen.
Good afternoon to members of the press, to our leader, Bishop Reginald T. Jackson.
Amen.
We stand today assembled representing 1,000 churches from across the span of the state of Georgia. I'm grateful that not just Christian moral leaders, but we're also joined by representatives from the Islamic community who understand that this is the time for us to unify in brotherhood.
Yes.
It was 500 years ago that Martin Luther went to the gates and had to nail his 95 Theses to the wall. It was, in fact, a transformative moment of realizing that there had to be a split for reform to take place.
Yes, sir.
Bishop Jackson has illumined 3 different nails that we intend to nail on this day. And the question that the press might be asking, the viewers might be asking, is why in the world are we assembling in the middle of the rain? We're standing in the rain for 2 reasons. Number 1, we understand that this rain is in fact the teardrops of our ancestors who thought that we would never have to be in this place. This rain is for those who cried coming across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. This rain is for those who had to fight through relentless fire hoses. This rain is for those who had to fight through the barking dogs of Bull Connor. This rain is for those who had to, in fact, suffer the indignities of counting how many bubbles were in a soap bar. This rain was for those who had to memorize the U.S. Constitution. This rain is for the churches that had fiery crosses in their lawns because they wanted to register people to vote. This rain is for Medgar Evers, who was slain in his own driveway because he believed that this was, in fact, a right for every person. But this rain is also for our Native American brothers and sisters who knew that whenever there was a drought, you had to dance for the rain to come. This dance is not for entertainment, but it is for the empowerment of disenfranchised people who understand that their words of James Weldon Johnson is right. Lift every voice, not just in sing, but lift every voice and vote. Home Depot, a house is not a home until everybody in the house has access to vote.
My God.
Peace and blessings. In the name of God, I'm Rakeem from Masjid al-Mu'minun. What we are dealing with is Americans not utilizing the Constitution. What we are dealing with is ego ahead of the Constitution. We want justice. We want justice in our communities. We want justice in every community. We want freedom. We want residual income, billions and billions of dollars, the same as they have given the European to build America off of the sweats of our backs without zero interest giving back. We want to be able to lift every voice in our political arena to establish democracy in our communities. It's not just Home Depot, it's every store that does not react upon this in the state of Georgia in the United States of America. Yes, so we are working together as Christians and Muslims and Jews and any other religion there is for democracy right here in America. Thank you.
Awesome. Amen. Awesome.
Thank you so much. I'm Reverend Tim McDonald, pastor of the First Iconium Baptist Church here in Atlanta, past president of Concerned Black Clergy. I certainly am grateful to God for our Bishop Jackson, and his excellent leadership that he has been providing in this movement against voter suppression. Right now in the United States of America, 47 out of the 50 states are considering or have already passed voter suppression legislation. The state of Georgia was the first. In a matter of days, the state of Florida followed and has already signed this voter suppression legislation throughout the nation. Imagine, if you will, if 10 states in the United States had passed similar voter suppression legislation. Many of the elections that we saw in November were won by less than 1 full percent. In the state of Georgia, it was 11,780 votes out of almost 6 million votes that ex-President Donald Trump tried to turn in our state. Just a few days ago, the Secretary of State of Georgia was removed as the chair of the State Board of Election by moving an elected official and placing in an appointed position. How can we hold him responsible, given that the state of Georgia has all 3 branches of its government now led by Republican leadership, the governorship, the Senate, and the legislature? Even if it were Democrats doing the same thing, it would still be wrong. The people have a right to make sure that those who we elect represent our desires and are held accountable. One of the worst things that was a part of this legislation is what we call state takeover. Yes, sir. State takeover has never been good for black people. State takeover has never been good for brown people. State takeover has never been good for poor people, for marginalized people. And that's why we're here at Home Depot. Home Depot has ignored the black church. Home Depot has not written one letter, has not sent one text message, has not emailed one message to us to recognize the power of the black church. Well, today they're going to start feeling that power. We come here today to voice opposition to SB 202s all around the nation, 47 states. And I believe that God sent the sunshine and God sent the rain. Because God wanted Home Depot to know that no storm is going to stop us. No tornadoes, no hurricanes, no lies, no deceptions, not even no legislation. Because once God has put into motion God's plan and the people of faith come together to do what thus saith the Lord, I'm telling you what God is getting ready to do. Home Depot, we gave you 2 weeks to do the right thing. We tried to be nice. We gave you 2 weeks. But now Bishop has told us we got to get the hammer and we got to get the nails. And we're going to send a message loud and clear. Our people, some of these preachers came from out of town to be with us today. If it wasn't for the tornadoes and the storms and the rain, there I'm sure would be even more here today. But here's what we're going to do. We need the press to cooperate with us. We're going to walk across the street. These men and women of faith. We're going to walk inside of Home Depot. We're going to walk around inside. We're going to spread some spiritual energy throughout Home Depot. And then we're going to come back out front of Home Depot and we're going to have a prayer. Because we know that prayer changes things. I want to invite the press, if you will. I know they won't allow you on the inside, but to just walk with us, to see our determination, our commitment to do what's right. Amos told us that we got to be out there till justice rolls down like waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. That's what we are about today. We got some umbrellas. Brother Vic, if you'll bring some of those over, we're going to have a silent walk through Home Depot, and then we are going to assemble right in front of Home Depot, and the Reverend Dr. Jamal Bryant is going to close us out in a word and a prayer. Brothers and sisters, are we ready? Brothers and sisters, are we ready? Are we ready? To hold up the blood-stained banner.